So a few minutes ago, a federal court sentenced Rashad Trice to a mandatory term of life in prison for the federal crime of kidnapping resulting in death. On July 2nd of 2023, Mr. Trice kidnapped 2-year-old Winter Cole Smith from her home in Lansing, Michigan after violently assaulting her mother. Ultimately, law enforcement located Mr. Trice in St. Clair Shores, Michigan, over on the east side of the state, but only after a massive statewide manhunt and only after Mr. Trice had violently strangled and ultimately killed little Winter Cole Smith. You know, when we announce these types of decisions and we're involved in these cases, we talk a lot about achieving justice, and certainly what we've achieved here is justice, but is it a measure of justice? We can never do anything to bring back the precious life of Winter Cole Smith, and I just want to recognize that. I also want to just say that my heart goes out to her family, to the grandparents, to the mother, to the father, who obviously have been just incredibly affected by this situation. I also just want to lastly say thanks to all of the many people, hundreds of people, that were involved in the search effort here. I first of all want to say thanks to the dozens of federal law enforcement agencies that responded. I can tell you the response was staggering, something that I had never seen before. It was the 4th of July weekend, and there were so many law enforcement officers who came running without even being asked to help with the search effort. I especially want to say thanks to the Lansing Police Department, who was first on the scene, and I also want to say a special thanks to FBI, which led the statewide search. I want to say thanks to my colleague across the state, U.S. Attorney Dawn Eisen. In the very early stages, her office assisted with the legal process around the search, and we were partners, and I really appreciate her efforts and her team's efforts. I also want to say thanks to the prosecutor on the case, Doa El Hawashi from my office, Assistant U.S. Attorney, who worked very carefully on this matter. And then lastly, I just want to say thanks to the public as well. We certainly felt the sympathy of the public. There were many, many tips that came in, and there were many, many people who just showed up because they wanted to help with the search. And we so appreciate the efforts by the public, despite the very horrible ending to what happened. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to. So he committed both state and federal crimes. We brought charges on July 7th. About 2 weeks later, I believe it was July 21st, the state filed state charges. We brought kidnapping charges. That was the most relevant federal crime here, and the state had a number of other crimes that they took, including the assaults against the mother and, of course, the homicide itself. So both jurisdictions had the power to bring cases here, and both secured mandatory life sentences. You know, I think with these sentences, they are always very somber. You know, I think this is just an incredible loss and tragedy that nobody ever wanted to see happen. And anytime someone is sentenced for a term of life, mandatory life, that is a somber experience, and I think we felt that today.
What's the significance of this being federal? He was already tried on state, correct?
He was tried and he was convicted at the state level and at the federal level as well. As I mentioned, there were really overlapping crimes here. Some of them were federal, some were state. We charged on July 7th. A couple weeks later, the state followed as well. And there were both state and federal interests to vindicate here. And as sometimes happened, there were convictions at both levels. You know, I think there's a measure of relief to get to this point. You know, we felt very strong about this case, very strong about the evidence. We were pleased to see a plea agreement. That's what we want to see, to take away any of that risk. And of course, we secured a mandatory term of life. that's what Rashad Malik Trice deserves in this case, and we were pleased with the outcome.
What can you say about the statement that the grandfather issued in court today?
We always give victims in the federal system the ability to make a statement if they want, and I'll just say I think it was very heartfelt, and touched on the deeply personal, lifelong impact that what happened here will have on the members of the family.
What sort of message does this send to people?
I think there's accountability for these types of crimes. Of course, this shows that you cannot commit these horrendous crimes and walk away from it. I think there's also a message about the efforts of law enforcement here. Watching a bit from the inside, it was just really stunning. I know some of my colleagues in the FBI said it was unprecedented in terms of what they had seen before, in terms of the number of people who showed up. Again, that was a holiday weekend. People were on vacation. And these agents and officers and troopers and others, they left everything behind. And some of them without even being asked to come help with this search. And we know, for those horrible few hours overnight, for those several hours, that people across the state, people across the nation were watching what was happening. And so I'm just really, really grateful for the efforts of federal law enforcement, state law enforcement, university, local law enforcement as well.
Are there any last questions? Okay.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.